You're listening to the Scaling Wellness Podcast, the podcast dedicated to sharing the what, why, and how of scaling your wellness practice, as well as sharing inspiring stories of how others did it themselves. I'm your host, DJ Turner, author, agency owner, houseplant lover, and your go-to guy for scaling your wellness practice. If you're looking for tips on how to grow your team, book more clients, and get out of the day-to-day in your practice, you've come to the right place. Now sit back, relax, and let's get into the episode.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Scaling Wellness Podcast. Today, I want to talk about what is actually working now. Here we are, November 2024. What's working, what's not when it comes to getting new massage clients. So I've just wrapped up teaching the live version of Book Your Team Solid, which has been a really cool experience, a lot of really good feedback. And I put that course together, the first course I've taught in a long time, specifically about how to navigate all the different things that are happening in marketing. One of the things put together in that course is the framework of what you need to do, how you need to focus, how long you need to be working on things, and then how to pick a marketing method that makes sense for your budget, your speed, your resources, and the kind of clients that you're trying to attract. And it's been a pleasure putting this together because I realized there's no one singular thing that works in all cases or is best. And so that's been a really cool process of teaching with Book Your Team Solid. But one of the things that I want to talk about is just to hey, here's what we're doing right now. Here's what we are seeing just out in the industry with our, I still run an agency as well as have one-on-one coaching clients. And I want to talk about some of those things. So one of the first ones that we're seeing that is working right now is Google Ads. So I'm just going to blanket and say Google Ads as a whole and talk about them. But specifically when it comes to search campaigns, this is, PPC marketing. Depending how old you are, you might be familiar more with that phrase. So Google, essentially, if you've never run ads there before, you've got people who are actively searching for the services that you have to offer. One of the things that I've noticed is so different, let's say Google versus Facebook, Facebook being a big trend. And I've got a really cool Facebook campaign I'll talk about later in this episode that was working right now for us. But one of the things that Facebook is so incredibly easy to set up campaigns. And this is something I've done this. I've published over 200 episodes. I've talked about this in the past. This has been a thing that's been a gripe of mine if people would complain about Facebook ads. And my thing is Facebook ads are so easy to set up that people would do them incorrectly. People would do them wrong. People with no marketing experience, people have absolutely no idea what they're doing, but they think, I gave Facebook $20. This should be working. Facebook was so easy to set up for the average person who knows nothing about marketing, nothing about advertising, nothing about platforms. Google, on the other hand, has a higher learning curve. Google does have something what are called smart campaigns, which it's trying to really mimic the usability of Facebook's boosted post. But one of the things that we found was that if you set up a smart campaign, you will probably waste your money. If you try to set up a Google ad from your phone, the way that you would set up a Facebook ad from your phone, the settings that are built into those smart campaigns typically are really bad. And you end up spending money across all these random different platforms that are not actually Google search. So when I'm talking about Google, I am specifically saying Google search. And this is one of those things that if you want to do Google ads, you should commit uninterrupted. You should commit a few hours, a full afternoon to learning how to set up Google ads. Or if you're going to kind of take your time, over a week or two, you're going to want to watch. Google has some free courses available on it, but you're going to want to watch at least a handful of YouTube tutorials on how to set up the campaigns. But this is the thing I'm seeing. There's a certain point in growth where ads become almost inevitable. But what we're seeing inside of the agency is we're going and setting up ads, and we're finding just the quality of clients to be really, really good. We're finding, depending on the market and depending on how the campaign is set up, we're getting, let's say, $1 per click, less 60 cents per click. This comes to optimizing a campaign. So this is making sure you show up for specific terms and not other terms. So things we're looking at are massage near me, massage in city, specific services, sports massage, lymphatic drainage, etc. that are specific. And then the thing that we do that we're making this work a lot better is we're making sure we're excluding any inappropriate words. So there's a thing just called like broad match. That's just anything associated with the word massage. And so you might get like happy ending, Nuru, Chinese massage, any of these things that are like explicitly adult or code words for adult. We have to make sure that we turn those off. We also are making sure we're turning off products like massage chair, massage gun. Those are things that we are turning off. We're looking for people who want services. And then some other random things we've seen show up of people who are like looking like ASMR YouTube videos and cheap massage. Most people don't want to be associated with that. Some people do. Like if that's your business strategy of like being super affordable, then that's a good word for you. But I think a lot of people who are listening to this podcast are not. That's not a good word for them. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're seeing. And we're seeing, you're getting maybe 50 cents, 60 cents, $1.50 to get someone to click to your website who is specifically looking for a service. What the conversions are really depends. Average conversion we're looking at, you would expect to see is maybe 5%. That could be a lot higher. That could be lower. But let's say it's going to be 5%. And if we kind of just do the math really quickly on those numbers, then what we can get is we can end up getting clients booked. It could be sometimes $15 an appointment, $20 an appointment. It could be $50 an appointment. It kind of depends on what that cost is. And so we're seeing that working really well inside the agency. Also, one of the things, we're just paying attention to what's happening with the coaching clients. If you are trying to get into you're looking at 20, 30, 40, 50,000 months, 60,000 months. You're really trying to scale up into multiple 5-figure months. The people who are doing it and doing it well are doing it with Google Ads. There's no shame. I think this is a big switch for those of you who have been growing your business. There's so much pride for like a single fully booked practitioner. Like we never do ads and we're all word of mouth. And as long as we do really good, that's all that matters. And that's great. But if you're trying to do $50,000 a month, you're just not going to get there. You will more than likely get stuck at 30,000 without doing any sort of ads. And obviously you can use ads to grow at any size. So that's what we're seeing. Number one is Google Ads, search ads specifically. If you are familiar with Google Ads platforms, this is not Smart Campaigns. This is not what's called PMax or Performance Max campaigns. This is specifically search campaigns inside of Google Ads. That's what we've been doing as an agency. And that's what people who we do not manage their accounts, just paying attention to what's happening in the industry. And people are really loving the results they're getting from Google Ads. But again, if you're going to do them yourself, there is quite a learning curve that you're going to need some time to set up. This is not like, if you've never done it before, you're not going to sit down in 10 minutes and build a campaign. You're going to want to set aside an afternoon or potentially over a week of sitting down and watching like 1 or 2 tutorials, short tutorials every day before you go set up your campaign. So that's number one. Number two, this is really cool. So I just talked about Google Ads, but Facebook ads still work. And one of the things on our agency side, we've really been developing how we approach Facebook ads, under what context we're doing Facebook ads. And so this one's really cool. So we've got a client we've been working with who has a brand new spa. They've got a beer themed spa and they're like totally new business. And what we've been doing is trying to figure out like what is the angle for them, because they have this spa, but they also do offer very therapeutic massage services. And I think there's some of you who are listening who find this line as well, as like you're straddling this line between like, this is not a big hotel spa. This is not a destination spa, but also you are having some more relaxation type services. So when we found this client, we found her online and she'd found us and she'd been doing Groupon. And we said, hey, we want to take what you're doing on Groupon and we want to put this over onto Facebook, because generally speaking, we can get a better quality of client. We can get higher retention because the Groupon people tend to be one and done. So one of the things that we did there was we put this ad up on Facebook. And I'll tell you, the first month, the ads were just okay, and this is pretty normal. Our new recommendation for kind of everyone is like, hey, whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. Let's set aside about 90 days to optimize whatever you're doing. Social media, Google ads, Facebook ads, flyers, referrals, whatever. Give yourself 90 days to commit to a single platform or single process to optimize this. So the first month was okay. And, I was kind of taking a look. I was talking to my team. We're looking at our account. And I just said, hey, you're such a brand new business. You don't have any content. You don't have any proof. We are just going so hard and heavy on the fact that we're using this Groupon price. That's all we really have to offer. We had like stock and AI generated images, and it's just like really an uphill struggle because a lot of our clients in the agency, they've been around for at least a little bit. So they have a little bit of content we can play with, but she had nothing. And so what I said, you know what? I've been looking at influencer marketing for a while. I'm going to go ahead and start the conversation. So what we did is I actually did this personally. I went out and I looked in her town and I started looking online to find the influencers and micro influencers, those content creators, to see what are you doing? What are you offering? What are your packages? What does the price cost? This is a thing that, like, for whatever reason, massage businesses have not been doing this. Restaurants are also local businesses who have relatively small margins, who aren't doing tons of revenue. Restaurants have figured this out, that if you get an influencer or you get a content creator to come and make a video that's like, hey, come check this out. Today I'm spending the day out, blah, blah, blah. Like, when you do that, that crap works. So we did that. We went out, found an influencer, found this content creator. And the difference I'm going to say is that an influencer, traditionally, you want access to their audience. So this is someone who has like hundreds of thousands of followers or tens of thousands. There's micro influencers, and you want access to the audience that they already have. And then you have content creators who you don't really care about their audience, but they are really good at making content for social media. So this is like, this whole industry is relatively new. So this is like, you would have just hired a videographer in the past. Now you would hire a content creator because you want the result of what they can make. So we've taken this, we've gone, we reached out to the influencer. We had them go. The influencer came with one of her friends and filmed not a day in the life, but it's like, hey, come with me as I check out this place. And actually, I think the video starts with, hey, city, have you heard about this amazing place? Name of business. Come with me as I spend the day relaxing, da da da. And so it's like a video that has all the different shots of all the different services with a voiceover. And so we got the video back from the content creator. We plugged this into the Facebook campaign, and holy crap, I literally cannot believe how effective it has been, to the point where when I was talking to my team, I said, like, can you please verify these numbers? There's no way this can be correct. So I'm looking right now just at our internal reports that we use just to make sure that things are going well, not just the ones we send to clients. But the one I'm looking at right now is like, for the past 5 days, we had 20 people respond to the campaign at $1.50 each. This is not $1.50 per click. This is $1.50 per person raising their hand saying, oh my God, I want your services. When we implemented the video from this content creator, it literally 10x'd the results of the Facebook campaign. Like, we were lucky to get 25 people to respond in the entire month. We are now getting 25 people to respond, and really we're getting like 50 people to respond per week. Like, genuinely, I'm looking at the reports for last 7 days. We had 47 people respond at a cost of $1.50 per response. These are leads. These are people raising their hands saying, I want your services. I want what you have. This is it. I'm telling you right now, if you want to be good on social media, you want to have an amazing Facebook campaign, you want to generate demand for your business, you need to find a local influencer. You need to find a local content creator. If you can trade services for a video or multiple videos, do that. If you need to pay someone, do that. The act of paying for this one video genuinely completely changed the results of this campaign. And now we are lucky to get 25 people a month, barely get 25 people responding to a campaign. We are now getting 50 people every single week raising their hands saying they want the services. That has been the difference of this influencer campaign from one single video, one single Facebook ad. So that's what's working right now in that regard. So if you're trying to make Facebook ads work, you're looking for something that's like demand generation, you're trying to really show off how amazing your space is, this is the thing that's held true throughout Facebook ads over the years. You have to do something that makes your place look irresistible. And so in the past, we've exclusively used price as the thing to make things irresistible. And now, especially if we're following trends, we're seeing what's happening. if you can just have a video put together of your business, and this is a very like social media, day in the life, very local, to say it's not professional would be untrue. But there's a type of video that you would make for a TV commercial, and there's a type of video that you would make for TikTok or Instagram, and those have very different styles. Paying someone real human money to make that video, if you're not good at making it yourself, is absolutely worth it. And that's one of the things that we're seeing that is working now. Again, to compare these two things, like what's working, what's not. Again, Google campaign, very normal to get $1.50 to get someone to come and click on your ad, depending on the market you're in. This is $1.50 for someone to give us all of their contact information to say that they want an appointment. This is the difference between those. So that's number 2. Influencer marketing, content creator paired with paid Facebook advertising. That's the second thing that is working really well. Then finally, number 3, what we're seeing that's working really well is when it comes to reviews. So this is also a similar case of being on Groupon, trying to figure out what's working. And actually the Groupon aspect isn't what matters. I mentioned this client getting clients through Groupon. But one of the things that we've done to adjust their strategy to help them build their organic base is just offering something in exchange for a review. So what we found is this client was already giving away something at the end of their treatment, just as part of the treatment. And I said, hey, instead of just giving it away, because you're already going to do it, it's already factored into the price, it's already factored into your service, just make this one change. Say, hey, thank you so much. How was your service? Hey, if you would like this thing for free, would you mind leaving a review about your service? We asked her to do that. She implemented that in her client base, and boom, like tripled the reviews seemingly overnight. That goes so far, it has gone so far into the organic reach, climbing the rankings when it comes to Google search, and building that online presence. So if you have something you're already giving away for free, you can add something. I saw this, I've mentioned this in different podcasts, I saw this at a tattoo studio, where like after you get a tattoo, every single person gets like a little tub of balm. It's probably only like 3 ounces of like tattoo cream. And they said, hey, if you would leave a review about how it went here, we'll give you this for free. And that's how that place had over 1,000 reviews. So this is something that you can do if you're giving away something for free. You can find something away to give for free to add on to your checkout process to boost that organic search, to boost your Google rankings, to make you irresistible. Because one of the things is if someone's looking online and they're like typing in massage, they're looking for places they want to go, and there's a place with 10 reviews or 20 reviews and 30 reviews, like, okay, one of those might be better than the other. But then there's one place that has 150 reviews. It has twice the reviews of the competition. That place, without even having to read a single one of those reviews, our brain goes, well, that must be the place to go. Clearly 150 people leaving reviews compared to 10 at the next place, compared to 50 at the next place. This place must be awesome. So we're seeing that working. We're seeing that going really well, and something that you can consider implementing in your business. So that is what's working right now. We're seeing Google Ads, optimize Google Ad campaigns using search terms to bring in people who are looking for services now. This can be same day, next day. They usually want an appointment within the next 7 days typically, but a lot of times it's like they want an appointment right now. If you've got same day, next day, or you do same week availability, that is going to be a really great option for you to really scale up and fill appointments. Second thing, we're seeing Facebook ads, specifically when it comes to influencer marketing and content creation. Having someone create a video for you, have someone professional come in, show off your space, show off their experience, talk about how awesome it is to be a client of your business, pair that with paid Facebook advertising, that is working. And then number 3, on the organic side, if you're giving away something for free, you've got something already, offer a small gift in exchange for a review. 9 times out of 10, people will say yes to that, and they'll leave a review right then and there on the spot, and you can boost those organic rankings, boost how you show up on Google, specifically Google Maps. So that's all. Thank you so much for listening. And if you want some more help on building out your marketing campaign, finding out what's going to be best for you, marketing done for you, or you just want some decisions made because you're overwhelmed and lost, then I'd love to talk to you and help you figure out how to fill all of the appointments on your team's calendars so that you can scale your business. Just head over to my calendar at www.scalingwellness.com/chat. And I'd love to talk to you. Again, that's www.scalingwellness.com/chat. Check out the link in the description. That's all today, folks. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
The Scaling Wellness Podcast is hosted and produced by yours truly, DJ Turner. Administration, guest research, editing, and associate production by Helen C. For highlights and updates, follow us on Instagram at Scaling Wellness. And for more information on how to scale your practice up and get out of the day-to-day, head to www.scalingwellness.com.